place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, stays not safe. Before you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace. None in my league, you out of place. I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, state to state.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, and I'm here with the one and only, the man himself, one of Ontario Indy's greatest fans, and a New Frontier supporter from day one. That's right, day one-ish.
That is true.
Day one-ish. We can steal that from the Usos, can't we? Day one-ish. He is filling in for Adam Haze, who is underneath the matchmaker's desk, probably sucking a lot of dick.
Wow. Yeah. I was gonna say maybe he had an appointment with a tailor or something like that. But
Why? Because
you just went to a whole other level. But
have you not watched any of the other prediction shows?
I guess I just missed the part where you make fellatio jokes. I don't know
all the time.
I don't know how I could have missed that.
Wait till you see the shirt I'm going to be wearing this Sunday. Tickets still available on sale. Go to eBrite or any New Frontier social media page to get them. It's, as always, it is at the Rock Pile. That is our home away from home. And this one is Worlds Collide.
Wait, you're talking about this Sunday, September the 18th?
Yeah.
At the Rock Pile?
At the Rock Pile.
Okay.
That's right.
I like it. And I understand this is a forbidden door of Ontario being opened here. It's the Worlds Collide
yes,
interpromotional kind of event here. And this is fantastic. We need more promotions working together. Collaboration over competition.
I've said it from day one. Collaboration over competition. Except when it comes to sucking dick, Haze has got that all wrapped up. All wrapped up. I'm done. Fellatio jokes are over.
Okay, so we're talking what's going to be going down. What are the predictions here?
Exactly. We're going to go through the match card that I have gotten from the matchmaker, again via email, which you had to wear a bandana so you could not see the email, because the matchmaker fans can't know who he is.
I really want to know who the matchmaker is.
So do I. I don't know. I get an email. I get an e-transfer every Saturday, and it shows up. I go to work and I come home. That's what I do.
Okay.
And I mean, obviously, he likes what I'm doing. He likes my fellatio jokes. He must have a grudge against Haze.
Must like the fellatio.
Much like
keeps Haze around.
Keeps. Oh yeah, absolutely. There you go. See, now you're on the bandwagon. Now you're on the bandwagon.
When in Rome.
No, Haze. We don't miss you. All right, and first match on the card. Well, actually, let's make some announcements, if you will. Some announcements. We know that Empire, the PWO Trios Champions, will be in action, and they're going to be defending their titles. Who they're going to be defending their titles against is a mystery. Now, there could be some excellent staples. One I would really like to see would be our three luchadors. That's Archangel, Guerrero Saya, and Invincible Jr. Going at these three for the PWO Trios Championship. What do you think about that idea that I've thrown out there?
I think that would be fantastic. One of the things I really enjoyed about New Frontier is that luchador presence. I actually bought one of Guerrero Saya's used masks from him, one of his entrance masks. This could be an exciting and dynamic matchup. You got three competitors in Empire that will do anything it takes to win.
Very good as a unit. Empire, I've always said that where one is, the rest are sure to follow. And if all three are showing up at New Frontier Worlds Collide, you know there was going to be some fireworks, some dirty deeds, and Matt Grant crying like a 5-year-old. Cries all the time.
I mean, can Empire deal with that aerial assault, that quick pace that the luchadors are going to bring to the table? Can they retain those titles?
Well, think about it. You've got speed and smarts. I'll give Matt Grant, I'll give the devil his due. His ring IQ is second to none when it comes to Ontario. You've got him kind of leading the ship. You've got Crystal Moon, who's got a real mean streak in her. You piss off Crystal Moon, she'll come at you hard. And then you've got the muscle of the group being TJ Kirk. So TJ Kirk really, given the right opportunity, if they, split the ring in half, TJ could be the most dangerous member of the three.
TJ's the quiet one, because Matt makes a lot of noise, and Crystal, I put my earplugs in when she wrestles because she screams like a banshee. But TJ's like the strong, silent one that you don't really see him coming, and next thing you know, he's flipping Matt off his shoulders, and you're getting
it's very intense when TJ's in the ring. So if they could segregate those three, but just to ask you, who do you think would be a challenge for the trios? I mean, I know you like the luchador presence that I threw out there, but looking at the New Frontier roster, which you've had the pleasure of seeing so many times now, who would you put together to kind of possibly dethrone the current PWO Trios champions?
Interesting. I don't know who I would necessarily throw in there, but
Could we see some new additions to the roster? Maybe. Will there be new appearances happening? There always is something crazy going down in the New Frontier.
I think New Frontier is always on the lookout for new prospects and new wrestlers. But I tell you, I would like to see John Greed grab a couple of partners and go after that trios title, because I think that would be a dangerous proposition.
I don't know if John Greed can officially be in the ring, considering he is the special enforcer for the matchmaker. That would kind of be like a one-up thing. Like, I mean, he's already done deals with the devil, and John Greed is no slouch to whatever works for John Greed, works for John Greed, and then some. But okay, let's go down this rabbit hole for a second. John Greed, and who else would he bring in? Who would we see? Will we see some new additions? Some current... Now, let's be honest. Let's remember, he does not have a whole lot of favor when it comes to certain new factions that have formed. Definitely having heat with Freedom Wallace's faction. We'll get into that a little bit later in the prediction show. But if John Greed were to do that, if the matchmaker were to sign off on that, and we know he loves controversy, so he might definitely sign off on that.
I'll tell you who.
Who you got?
And I'm going to tell you, this would be interesting.
Okay.
I would like to see John Greed, Scumbag Yates, and Tyler Arrow, because we've seen them work together before elsewhere in some other situations.
Sure,
So,
I like it. I like it.
I like the chemistry there, and I would like to see it happen. If you're just asking me, hey, what could happen? I'd like to see that happen.
Okay. And out of the two options that we've given, obviously you, the fans, can decide at home yourselves. But out of two options we give him, which way you reckon? Are you going with my team Luchador?
I think the team Luchador is far more likely
to happen
scenario. Yeah.
I would concur with that. All right, let's go to the next match on the card. We'll get it out of the way early because Haze always wants to save it for the end, but he's not here, so I don't have to worry about it. It is the next installment of the MAAS Buster Challenge.
The MAAS Buster Challenge.
Tarek is on a literal tear, no pun intended, and he is killing it right now. He's 4-0. Should have been 5-0 probably at Maximum Carnage, but again, Haze is not here, so I don't have to worry about upsetting anyone or anybody having a temper tantrum. Haze is such a bitch in a lot of ways. But he will be ringside with Tarek, running his mouth, trying to show guidance that is not needed because Tarek is one of the best hybrid athletes in the world, not just in Ontario, in the world. Punch, kick, chalk. You're literally out for the count. When he hits you, you feel it in the crowd. You felt it in the crowd.
I was in attendance for Tarek's IWS debut in Montreal. He really rocked the house, had a great match. I don't know who's going to be coming out for the MAAS Buster Challenge, but I do not envy them. Like there's a lot of guys I wouldn't want to step in the ring with, but Tarek is absolutely vicious, and he can take you apart a few different ways, but mostly through punches, kicks, and chops. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of any of those from Tarek. So,
and also hearing Haze's mouth run consistently. I mean, and it's horrible. I mean, sitting next to the guy is brutal because it smells like hot garbage. It actually smells like dried cum and hot garbage.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't stop. I really can't. And he's going to watch us back, and he's going to have a whole lot of shit to say on Sunday, blah, blah, blah.
The
blah.
FCC is going to have a whole lot to say.
Yeah, but that's okay. This is YouTube. We're allowed to say things we want to say. All right. But if I have to, again, go down a rabbit hole of predictions, I want to say, looking at the New Frontier roster as it is now, there was one man who was also undefeated. And I feel like we need to have the two undefeated men in New Frontier face each other. So I'm going to go with this prediction. Are you ready? Bone Crusher Steve Brown will answer the MAAS Buster Challenge. He is also 4-0. He is definitely in line for a title shot. I believe that this installment of the MAAS Buster Challenge should become a #1 contendership for the New Frontier Grand Championship, which is Cranio X. He is the champion. I believe that one of these two men should become 5-0, and they should go on to face Cranio X at the next event. That's my prediction. What are you feeling?
Oh, because if you do that, then the MAAS Buster Challenge, Tarek's got to put that title, if he wins it, on the line every show to a challenger. That would be an interesting proposition. But as far as a #1 contendership match, can't say I necessarily disagree with that. Steve Brown is Steve
He's
Brown.
a fucking beast. He's a
Bone
beast.
Crusher Steve Brown. You don't want to mess with him. But man, I don't know how that would go. The size against the size and the power against just that brutal assault of strikes. Man, I wouldn't want to be either of those guys.
No, as you know, the last show got postponed.
Correct.
But the show before that, we had an interesting kind of thing happen with Travis Moore, where he was pretty much demoted off the roster completely to be a member of the ring crew. And I feel like Travis Moore may answer the Mark Buster challenge because anyone can answer the challenge. Anyone can answer the challenge. So Travis Moore not being...
you answer the challenge.
I'll never answer the challenge. I respect Tarek too much, and I know that if I answer the challenge, it would be hilarious because it would last 3 seconds. It would literally last me just laying down and him pinning me.
Well, that's
for
longer
3
than
seconds.
Haze lasts.
Oh, that's right. I'm sure his wife Cassie would probably agree with you on that.
I'm sorry.
No, don't ever apologize to Haze. Fuck that guy. All right, so I think that Travis Moore may answer the challenge to try to get back in the favor of the matchmaker. I think these are the two possibilities that I'm seeing right now.
I'm a big fan of Travis Moore. That kid's got a lot of upside. I've seen him develop over the past 2-3 years just immensely.
He did last over 7 minutes with the Bone Crusher.
He did.
On the losing effort, but he did last 7 minutes, and that's not including ring entrances. That's 7 minutes bell to bell.
And that speaks to his tenacity. That speaks to his discipline and hard work to even just be able to stay in the ring and not get pinned for 7 minutes with Steve Brown.
A couple times to even have Steve Brown say, "Kid, just stay down," and Travis Moore not willing to stay down, and that shows something. That's what a lot of times I find wrestlers are missing. It's that fortitude. It's that grit, that grime to say, no, I don't care how big you are, I'm gonna go at you with everything I got. Again, it was a losing effort, but 7 minutes is still 7 minutes. When you look at Travis Moore and Steve Brown, that really is David versus Goliath. That was David versus Goliath.
So hey, if Travis Moore answers the call to try and win back favor with the matchmaker, with the New Frontier Pro front office, so to speak, I would love to see it. I think Trav's got a chance, but you'd have to pull it out of his ass.
Okay, so
you could do it, Trav.
Looking at these two options, and again, Tarek, who do you pick? Do you pick Tarek for both options? Do you see one way or the other? Like, I'll be honest, even though I predicted both people, I'm still going to give it up to Tarek. It has nothing to do with Haze. It's just how gifted Tarek is in the ring. None of Tarek's undefeated streak has anything to do with Haze. None of it. None of it.
I think Tarek's probably gonna come out on top, but I think both those guys could give him a good run and maybe surprise us.
Absolutely. And we've got another couple of people making. We've got some returns happening, but also some more debuts. This is a match I'm really intrigued in. This is the international match. This is interpromotional match. My apologies. Thank you. This is Shane Saber, who is renowned in the Ontario indie scene. Got a lot of great matches, a lot of great upside. This guy is phenomenal. A very good hybrid athlete himself. What I like about Saber is that he mixes the old with the new. He can get down, slow the pace, really grind it out, but he can also fly from the top and hit you with a couple surprise moves when given the opportunity and the space to work. The thing I find about Saber is he needs space.
Yeah,
he's great in the corners, but he really needs that space to kick it into gear. You know what I mean?
Since he cut his hair, he's really lost some of that aerodynamic, some of that swagger and flair.
Fuerza took the hair, but it was a hair versus MAAS match.
Saber's a tremendous athlete.
Absolutely,
he's deceptively big as well. Like you look at Saber and you forget maybe how large of a dude he is,
and also the height. He's got a lot of
tall,
height,
right? And he's beefy, and he's got muscle. And then you've got. I'm not overly familiar with Devin Parkside. I believe I've seen.
Well, hold on a second. So Shane Saber is representing NSW, which is New School Wrestling. Parkside, as you said, is representing PWO Pro Wrestling Ontario, and returning to New Frontier is the man, the myth, the legend, the brand new daddy. Shouts out to Justin Sane and his beautiful wife on the birth of their son. He's adorable. He's a lady killer, 150%. I can't wait to meet that little guy in person. Oh, he's adorable. It's freaking adorable.
He's killing people already.
No, I mean with his look. Don't be an asshole.
Young
With his looks. Don't be an asshole. All right. And Justin Sane, the Night Train, is returning to New Frontier after that knee injury in the triple threat to crown the inaugural Grand Champ, which we know is Cranio X. Now, like you said, you're unfamiliar with Devin Parkside. I'll let you pick it up from there.
Well, Devin Parkside, I believe I've seen him once at a PWO show, so I'm not overly familiar with his work. But I know he's had some interesting feuds in PWO. I know he's worked with Rip Impact, a lot of other guys. So I'm interested to see what he's going to bring to the table in this interpromotional match. And of course, we all know Justin Sane. He's been a stalwart of the Ontario indie scene. Just such tremendous athleticism and energy. I don't think I don't think there's anybody in Ontario with that much in-ring energy. Like Justin Sane just exudes energy and confidence.
And there's no 0 to 60. He's
There's
already hitting 100.
He goes to 11. So I think this match is going to be actually quick and hard hitting. And it wouldn't surprise me to see maybe some underhanded tactics, maybe from Saber, maybe from Parkside. Who knows?
Justin Sane doesn't do that. He doesn't play dirty.
No, we know.
Justin Sane, much like Tarek, lets his hits do the talking, and Justin Sane also has one hell of a chop.
Justin Sane wants to win the right way, the honest way. So I don't expect anything like that from him. But hey, we could be surprised. He might just pull a chair out, knock both these guys out, and take the win.
Well, chairs are legal.
Yeah, but
weapons,
you knock
weapons,
the referee out.
Weapons are legal. Knocking the referee out doesn't disqualify anyone.
Comedian elbow to the referee, couple chair shots.
It's all legal unless John Greed gets a text from the matchmaker which says intervene. Then only then does John Greed get up and intervene. But I don't really see John Greed intervening a whole lot. He never really does. And it's not a shot at John Greed. It's just he only intervenes when told to because that's what he gets paid to do. So in this match, I'm going to give it to my boy, the Night Train Justin Sane. I think it's going to be a very quick match, like you said, very hard hitting. But I got to give it to Justin Sane. He's going to get back in that W column and keep climbing the ranks to get back into that #1 contendership for Brainio X's Grand Championship.
Couldn't agree more. I got to go with Justin Sane here as well. I think he really wants to get back into that title contention, and a win here would really showcase that he's one of the best the promotion has to offer, and Ontario has to offer.
Absolutely. Now, women's wrestling match. I'm so excited for this one. I love these three ladies. They're absolutely talented. We got the NSW Women's Championship on the line. MAAS versus Taylor Rising, the current champ, versus CC Moss. So we got a Moss versus a Moss versus Rising. That's two sisters. There's going to be a whole lot of double teams in this match on Taylor Rising for sure. She's going to have a tall task. CC is hands down the female powerhouse of Ontario Indies. I've put my stamp on it before. I'll say it again. Bia is quick, but Taylor is just dangerous. And Taylor with gold is even more dangerous. So point blank, I love the Moss sisters. I think they're going to put up a valiant effort, but I do not see Taylor dropping this title anytime soon.
I agree. I don't see the Moss sister. I think that whole dynamic of the two sisters in the ring in a three-way match,
it's going to implode.
It's going to implode. Exactly.
Who's going to go for the pin? There's going to be push-offs. Taylor's going to get a lot of time to recover because they're going to be bickering. It's my time to shine. It's my time to shine. You're right. I feel like the history of being siblings will not help them. It'll actually be a crutch.
Knock one out, roll up the other. You got this, Taylor. Nothing against the Moss sisters. I've seen them both work several times, and I think they're going to put up a great match, but I think Taylor's going to come out on top here.
I believe it. I agree. And again, we're not doubting the Moss sisters' ability.
No shade at the Moss sisters.
There could be something there, an opening for one over the other. But again, let's run over the rules really quickly. So weapons are encouraged. You can't have any stabbing weapons, no puncturing. So again, couple of oxymorons here and there, considering we did have a non-sanctioned death row barbed wire death match, which again has a lot of sharp objects. Literally the whole ring was a sharp object, but again, it was unsanctioned. So the rules are simple. Weapons are encouraged, actually welcomed. Any kind of weapon you want, as long as it's not a stabbing weapon of any kind.
And for this match?
For any match in New Frontier. Weapons are encouraged. That just, again, they cannot be a stabbing weapon of any kind. So no puncturing. You can't break a beer bottle and slice somebody's head. That's wrong.
That's a crime to lock me up.
Absolutely is a crime.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
And in a lot of societies in the world, it is a crime.
Maybe after, I don't know.
Are you tomatoing this right now? Like I don't know where you're going. You were like,
I was going to make a distasteful joke, but
you held back.
My better sense prevailed.
I like it. All right, we've got another interpromotional championship match on the line. We've got the PWO Openweight Championship. Del Bruno making his New Frontier debut. He is the current champ, and he's going up against the one, the only El Diablo, Gabriel Fuerza. Now Fuerza, unfortunately, lost some gold this last weekend at another promotion. So Fuerza's belt collection shrinking down a little bit.
It happens.
So this could be a chance for Fuerza. Fuerza's hungry. He likes his gold. He likes a lot of his gold. And Fuerza he's not shy for the dirty tactics. He will do whatever it takes to win.
Eddie Guerrero style.
Yeah. Lie, cheat, steal, sell your mother, whatever you got to do. Fuerza would do it. Fuerza would literally sell his soul. Actually, Fuerza doesn't need to sell his soul to the devil because he is.
Give your child to Rey Mysterio Jr.
100. Well, they did fight for the contract. It was fair. It was fair. I mean, I don't think Dominic's had a bad run in his life as Rey's stepson.
Well, now he's
Rhea Ripley's lapdog. I mean, that's not a bad position to be in.
Rhea Ripley's son now, so
well, all right. Let's stay on point here with New Frontier. But looking at these two guys, we know Fuerza so well. We've seen a different side of Fuerza in big matches. Fuerza in big matches with gold on the line, he excels. Del Bruno as well. Defending gold, he excels. This is the match I'm looking forward to the most on the card. I will be completely honest. Any match with Fuerza. I love Del Bruno. He's a good friend of mine, great friend of the show, Straight Talk Wrestling. But I always pick El Diablo. And I never, ever not shy away from picking the devil. I am a huge mark for Fuerza. Even though he tries to pretend he doesn't like me, we're friends. We're friends.
If he doesn't like you, me and him text.
That's fine. It's okay.
He texted me this morning. He's like, you know George Mackay?
I don't like him.
I don't fucking like him.
It's okay. Fuerza is my best friend, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. So I'm picking El Diablo for this one. I see a new PWO openweight champ in the future after Sunday. Where are you going with this one?
Man, this is going to be a tremendous matchup because both these guys are known for some kicks, a few strikes here and there, maybe some flips, little bit of flippy shit. I think it's going to be an awesome match. Del Bruno's consistently, you hear him called like one of the most underrated guys in Ontario, and Gabriel Fuerza is not underrated. He is rated as being unbelievable. Multiple champion in multiple promotions, tag team, singles wrestler. He's one of the most prolific wrestlers in Ontario. I think this is probably going to be one of my most anticipated matches as well. However, I think that Del Bruno might actually pull this one out. I think he might out Fuerza on this one because Del Bruno's not above,
out Fuerza on this one. I actually do like that. I'm going to steal that one. Out Fuerza.
Right, out Fuerza.
I like it. So you think that Del Bruno is going to retain?
I think Del Bruno is going to retain that PWO Openweight Championship.
I like it. Okay, and this is now, again, this match card is not set in stone. This is not the order that it's going to be at the show. We're just kind of running through the matches as it is. And again, we did mention that Bone Crusher Steve Brown will be in action. I mentioned that he would be in the Mark-Ass Buster Challenge, but you never know. The matchmaker loves to throw wrenches into any roster, any plan that he can. So I don't know, but I really do hope that Steve Brown does answer the Mark-Ass Buster Challenge. Now, back to another match. Here's a match that I am really interested in seeing. The IWS Canadian Championship. Yes, another promotion. 4 promotions working together on this card. IWS from Quebec is being represented by its current champion, the Green Phantom. And he's going up against a guy who's had a whole lot of luck on his side, a guy who's been killing it in New Frontier lately, a man we all love to hate, that Kyle. And that Kyle, like I said, he's been hot. He's been really hitting his stride. He's been leveling up in his ability to win matches, big matches in big moments. Put his daddy down a few weeks ago. So
Shout out PD Skills.
Shout out PD Skills. So looking at this, again, this is David versus Goliath. That Kyle, Green Phantom, all the way up here. Our Green Phantom knows how to hit. He knows how to hit hard. And I mean, he's no slouch to defending a championship, winning championships. Green Phantom has a great resume and a great ability to destroy someone in the ring. We saw what he did to Andrew.
Rap too.
Yeah, you can. We also saw what he did to Andrew Love a few shows back. We were at Oshawa, the Biltmore Theater. He put Andrew Love through a door, through the ring, through the concrete to the outside of the venue.
All the way to China.
All the way.
It's gonna be a lot of green in this match. Holy shit.
A lot of green, a lot of monsters being thrown around. And again, not like big monsters, but like actual the drink, which will give you diabetes.
So this is basically, you've got a veteran of the scene. Green Phantom's been around quite a while. Wouldn't call him old, call him a veteran. And then you've got that Kyle, who's more of a young upstart.
Say it with a little bit more gumption. That Kyle.
That
Kyle.
That. And so when he's not smashing energy drinks and beating his father,
stealing shirts from fans, but then the fan being his number one fan. Very weird relationships that Kyle has with his fans.
That Kyle steals shirts from fans. I've witnessed this on multiple occasions. This is going to be an interesting matchup, but I think the experience of the Green Phantom will see him through here, and he will retain his IWS Canadian Championship.
I'm going to throw a curveball here. And a lot of people will be surprised if you watch any of the other prediction shows. I've never picked that Kyle. On our coldest day in hell, I've never picked that Kyle. But this Sunday, I don't know, the hot streak he's been on, I'm going to throw the underdog out there. I'm going to say that Kyle may steal a win from the Green Phantom, not beating him fairly. I'm thinking there's a lot of variables that the Green Phantom will have to contend with, and that Kyle is no slouch to dirty tricks.
Okay.
So I feel like that Kyle, given the right moment, can preferably seize the day and steal the IWS Championship.
Carpe diem, bud.
Carpe diem. That's right. I have it right here. He could steal it, and I think we may have a new IWS Canadian champion on our hands.
All right. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. The tail of the tape will prevail. Now, another match that I'm looking forward to, I'm a big fan of tag team matches, and we've got a triangle tag elimination. The winning team faces Stevie Ray and Tarek at Brimstone. That is our October event. This will be huge, absolutely huge. So we've got Valhalla Inc., two guys that have been kind of slapped together by the matchmaker. We're not having the greatest runs in New Frontier single-wise, but came together. That's the Grinder, Mark Shaw, and Vander Cruz. They are Valhalla Inc. Haze hates the name. I actually appreciate the name. I think it fits them. And they're going up against the Collective, which is what we talked about earlier in the show. Freedom Wallace's faction, if you will, has Clay Wilson and Sonny Lee. They are part of that, as well as the British Brawler, but the Brawler will not be in action. But they are there. I'm not sure which two out of three members we will see in the ring. I'm sure that Wallace will be out there giving guidance, but I think it's going to be Lee.
Oh, so they're wrestling under Freebird rules.
I believe so. Yes, I believe so. I believe we're gonna get, depending on, so which makes it very interesting for the other teams to kind of plan out the strategy. You can't prepare, and of course, the other team in this mix is one of the hottest tag teams in the Ontario indie scene.
100%.
One has a great head of hair. One has a head. Airstrike. Tyler Arrow and Mike Forte. These guys are the best. I just dropped a conversation with them a few weeks ago. Go check it out on the Straight Talk YouTube page. They are fantastic. They are amazing.
Yeah, actually, I was listening to it in my car, and I wasn't thinking. I had it turned up real loud, and Mike started talking, and now my subwoofer is blown. So, Mike, you owe me a new woofer.
There you go. Forte blowing subwoofers. I love it. So Airstrike going up against Valhalla Inc., going up against Collective under probably Freebird rules. So what do you got? What are you thinking?
This is interesting. I mean, you got Valhalla Inc., like you said, two guys that have kind of been put together, maybe not necessarily too familiar with each other in the way they work. This
2-0 as a tag team.
This still
2-0 as a tag team.
Still as a feeling out experience against a team as experienced as Airstrike, who's just been running rampant all over Ontario the last few months. They are absolutely fantastic. They've got a great style, great high-flying tag team style. And then the Collective, which they're going to have that third man out there. It could be a difference maker for them in that match. So I'm going to actually go with the Collective because I think that third man, whether it's Sonny, whether it's Clay Wilson, whether it's Freedom Wallace, whoever's on the outside is going to cause some shit. And that is going to result in this match going their way.
Well, Sonny was the newest member too, as well. He kind of came, or Sonny Z, he came out of kind of nowhere.
Well, Sonny Z, excuse me.
Yeah, Sonny Z, he came out of nowhere. And I might have said Lee earlier. My apologies for that. Z Lee is kind of in the same bracket, so my apologies. But he kind of came out and was the newest member of the Collective the same night that Clay Wilson was announced as a member of the Collective. So the Collective is growing. Went from 2 to 4, just like that. 2-man swing. So you're going with the Collective. I, on the other hand, never shy away from my markness for Airstrike. Therefore, I am picking Airstrike.
All right.
They are the most experienced out of these three teams, even with the Collective having Freebird rules involved, which we don't know which two competitors will make it. Again, I'm sure it's going to be Wilson and Sonny, but I don't know. Airstrike just, I feel, has this. They have the boxes checked in terms of the longest team together in this match, and I feel like they're due. They're absolutely due.
And I mean, it's like you win this match, and then your prize is to wrestle Stevie Ray and Tarek.
Yeah.
So
not a real great,
congratulations.
not a great prize for your body. I mean, a chance to share a ring with a legend, a Hall of Famer like Stevie Ray, that's
Sure.
awesome. But he's most likely going to have you staring up at the ceiling when he whoops your ass. So good luck to all three teams. You pick the collective. I got Airstrike. Winner faces Tarek and Stevie Ray.
Les Collective.
I like that. Les Collective. We'll have to let Clay Wilson know about that. And now the main event of the evening, which was supposed to be our main event at Maximum Carnage. But like I said, the show got postponed for personal reasons. This is a grudge match upon grudge match. We have the current reigning, defending New Frontier Grand Champion, Cranio X, and his, I don't know, master, if you will, Pretty Ricky Wilde. And he's going up against the Canadian Bloodstain Bad Boys. That's right. Jesse Amato, Tyler Hill squashed their shit in that unsanctioned barbed wire death match. That this is now, they've kind of come together to kind of vanquish, I guess, this demon and his lapdog. And the demon, I mean, bring Wilde. Wilde, how Pretty Ricky Wilde has this beast on this leash and how he knows how to control him blows my mind. I'm not sure.
He's the best around. Nothing's ever going to keep him down.
I don't know where to go from here.
Hey, it's Pretty Ricky. He's got charisma. He probably talked his way into Cranio X's mind. And next thing you know, Cranio X is...
Are you saying he matrixed Cranio X?
I don't know if I'd say he matrixed him. Consider
Are
Ricky,
you saying he's an agent?
Ricky's like his handler.
Okay?
He's his handler. He's handling him.
Almost kind of like when Ted DiBiase had the Undertaker, or the false Undertaker, he would flash dollar bills, and that Undertaker would stop hurting people.
I mean, Ted DiBiase had Andre the Giant for a while.
Everybody's got a price.
Not wrong.
I don't feel like this demon from hell will take orders from Ricky much longer. I feel like there will be an undoing there. Eventually, I don't know when, but it'll be an undoing.
Hey, how long did the Undertaker listen to Paul Bearer?
All I could say is that Pretty Ricky is the X factor in this match.
Pretty Ricky could be Cranio X's father. You don't know that.
Well, let's not get into another Maury Povich storyline. We already squashed that shit with PD Skills and Matt Kyle. Let's not bring it back. But seriously, Pretty Ricky is the X factor in this match. How he controls Cranio, how he controls the tempo, how much he chooses to get involved, how much he chooses to let Cranio handle his business, because he usually does. He usually talks a lot of shit while he's cowering behind him. But that's Ricky's MO. That's what Ricky does best. Ricky is the mouthpiece. Cranio is the muscle. They are the juxtaposition of one perfect wrestler together. That's the way I look at that. But Jesse Amato and Tyler Hill, they've been through a lot of wars versus each other, versus other Ontario indie legends. And I don't know, man. I feel like Tyler Hill and Jesse Amato are just angry. They're pissed off, and that's a dangerous combination. But here's the factor. Can they coexist? Even with all the shit behind them, can they coexist, keep their emotions in check, and not let that stuff boil?
They're not going to have a choice but to coexist, George. They've got Cranio X and Pretty Ricky on the opposite side of the ring. It's coexist or die. I mean, let's be honest here.
I like that. Coexist or die.
Coexist or die.
All right. And this is just a grudge match. This isn't there's no reward in this. The reward is just vanquishing the other team. So, you know what? This is a pick'em for me, again, in terms of the one perfect wrestler with the mouthpiece and the muscle, and Tyler Hill and Jesse Amato, if they can coexist on the same side, fighting the same fight. But for me, I'm a fan of, good triumphing over evil, and I always enjoy seeing Pretty Ricky get his ass kicked. I'm going to go with the Canadian Bloodstained Bad Boys on this one. I'm going to go with Hill and Amato for the win. Again, no titles will change hands. Nothing's going to change the landscape. But if they can figure out a way to put Cranio X down, that may open up the doors for other wrestlers to take a shot at Cranio, knowing his weak spots.
All right.
So I'm going to go with the team of Hill and Amato for this one.
And consequently, I believe that Pretty Ricky and Cranio X are going to emerge victorious in this grudge match.
All right. I like it. Look at that. A 30-minute prediction show that was short, sweet, simple, to the point. And this is why I'm thankful that Haze could not be here. And the matchmaker said to me in his email, pick whoever you want as long as they understand the product and know what I am doing. And there's nobody better than my MLW PIC. This one was so much fun because Haze wasn't here. I didn't have to look at his inbred hillbilly face from Oshawa. I've mentioned this a few times. His mother and father are brother and sister. We know this. But hey, I've said this at the last prediction show, and I'll say it now. Haze's mom, I like your style, so call me. Anyways, that's it for this prediction show. Don't forget, tickets are still on sale. Worlds Collide this Sunday at the Rock Pile. We've got so many promotions represented. IWS, NSW, New Frontier, and of course,
Pro Wrestling Ontario.
So get it while you can. Get those tickets while you can. This is going to be just a great inner workings of what happens when there's collaboration over competition. We're going to see some amazing matchups. It's going to be an amazing night for me to call, even though I'm going to have Oshawa's bastard son beside me. As always, I'm your host, your boy, George Mackay. All my links for any of my socials are in the link tree below. And this is Uncle Bobby B. He's only got one, and it's the real Uncle Bobby B on Instagram. That's it. That's all he's got. Keep it simple. Apparently, there are other Uncle Bobby B's, but he's the real one.
Copyright infringement.
No, not at all. Peace, love, and wrestling, guys. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Peace.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode on all available podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. Also, check us out on YouTube at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And if you feel the need to buy some sweet merch, check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Leaving the scene with no trace, not in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great. You're not my fan. You can't relate. Straight talk going state to state.